Good evening and welcome everyone for today's session. So, my name is Manpreet from Brahma Kumari's Calgary, Canada. So, this series we are discussing from last few months, and this is all about the self-care, which is really important aspect for nowadays because we are working outside for the money, for big house, big cars. But in somewhere, we lost our lives. We lost how to live the life, how to be satisfied, how to be content, happy. We lost our these innate qualities that we born with, that we develop by the day by day or over the time. So this session is all about the self-care. Just wanted to check the sound and the quality, that everything is okay on YouTube. If you're not, and we might ask you for the reflection during this session, or you can share your thoughts. What do you think about the virtues that we are going to discuss? What do you think? What do you mean by self-care in your everyday life? So you can access to the live chat box. If you are not able to do that, just make sure you can log in with the Facebook or the Gmail ID with the Gmail account. After that, you will be able to share your thoughts with us. And if you have any questions, you can ask at the end of the session. I would love to give the answers. So let's start today's session. So we have talked about the virtues. That virtues are the characteristics that makes our personality. Those are the qualities. And these qualities make us unique from each other. Even we are in the crowd, even we are 100 people standing together or sitting together, but their virtues, their qualities, their talents makes them different from each other. That makes a complete team with the different talents in each of us. The virtues are how we talk, how we behave, how we react or respond to the situations in our everyday life. This is not something about that we are waiting for something big to happen in our life, but it is something about very small moments, a few moments of the life when you spend together with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues, with happiness and peace and with lightness. So our today's topic is self-respect. So when we hear the self-respect word, of course we go like we think like what does that mean? But we all know somewhere from inside. But for right now, in this world, we don't know the exact meaning. because we just say, I want or I prioritize my self-respect first, but we don't realize it, that what does it really means. And we replace our self-respect with so many things, so many other names, and we just complicate it. We complicate the life with those words. We will talk about later about on it in this session about those. So let me ask you a question. Why respect is important in our lives? Take few seconds. Think about it. Why do you need self-respect? Why you always look for the respect from others, in the family, from the society? Why do you need that? Here you need to ask this from yourself, that why you always wonder for this respect from others, and do you deserve that? Do you need to earn that, or you will just get it easily? Think about it. Or put yourself in another situation, is how do you feel when someone disrespects you? It could be anyone. For example, it's a stranger. Well, the feeling will be different when your family, your kids, someone who know you, they are disrespecting you. At that time, you will feel different way. But if the stranger just came and approached you and disrespect you, you will feel in the different way. So now, think about those both situations. How do you feel at that moment when you get disrespect by someone? Take few seconds and churn on it. Let's move on and let's discuss the small, very simple definition of the respect. What does that mean really? So that we can, if we get clarity on the basic, well, definitely we are able to see that what does really means in our life. We can put it into the practical life. So the respect means that you accept somebody for who they are, even when they are different from you, or you don't agree with them at all. Still, you accept them as the way they are, called respect, giving a respect, giving a regard to others. So of course, respect is very important. It helps us to make strong relationships. It builds the feeling of safety, trust, and well-being in our relationships. So we get the clear definition that what does respect mean by that. So let's move on and let me read one story for you. A nice story about the king's two princes and the dwarves. Let me read the story for you, and after that we will reflect on it. And we will see what are the lessons we can learn from this story, and we can take away for our whole lifetime, and how we can put this into the practical life. Once upon a time, a king's two princes were playing in the forest and meeting one at a time. They came across 4 dwarfs who asked them to be more careful. The first dwarf had a headache, and he asked them not to shout. The second dwarf was painting a landscape, and he asked the children to move away because they were blocking out the sunlight. The third dwarf was doing a puzzle in the middle of the road, and he asked the children not to tread on it, the puzzles he was making. And the fourth dwarf was watching a butterfly, and he asked them not to frighten it away. The prince, who respected others, did as the dwarfs asked. But the disrespect prince ignored the dwarfs' pleas and kept bothering them. In the evening, at that day, both boys had become separated and lost in the forest. They needed to get back to the palace quickly. Each of them separately came across the four dwarfs again and asked for their help. They refused to help the disrespectful prince. But with the respectful prince, they did whatever they could do, help him and took him along some secret tracks which led right to the palace. The other prince arrived much later and was punished for it. Now that disrespectful prince, he now understood that it is much better to respect everyone and if you want to have friends. So now if you look at the prince that was respectful to them, they helped him in any situation because he was obey what the dwarf asked him to do. But that disrespectful prince didn't obey what they were saying to him, and he was keep bothering them at all times. So what he got after, he got the lesson for their whole life, that if he needs to make the friends, he need to be respectful with everyone. And this also apply on us while living in the society, in the family, in the relationships, and even by yourself. You need to be respectful towards each of everyone. If you want to make the friends, if you want to live the happily life, if you want to stay light and peaceful in your life. So, takeaway lesson is that respect means a lot to everyone. Somewhere inside, we all look for the respect from others. But I'm getting remember that very famous words that give respect, take respect, which is really true. When you show some respect to others, you will definitely get 200% of respect by them. And that gives the sense of worthiness, the sense of belongingness that we all look when we look at our needs after the basic needs. So we will of course relate this story throughout our session. Let's move on. Let's discuss the types of the respect, of the self-respect. So this is a one kind of like the table that it leads one another. So first, let's start from self, as our series name is self-care. Let's start that from yourself, because fulfilling yourself means you have everything and you're more than happy to give that to others. Let's discuss about the self-respect, which is really important. So, self-respect. Now, let's do a small activity. Just visualize yourself that you're standing in front of the mirror and you're looking at yourself. Now, how do you feel? Right now, what is going on in your mind about yourself? How much respect you do to yourself? How much respect you give? It's not about others. Leave the whole world aside, but just talk about yourself. Take few seconds. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask how much respect you give to yourself every day. So let's move on and keep this question in your mind, that how do you feel when like somebody asks you, do you respect yourself? Because you will give to others what you have inside. And giving self-respect to one's own self, it's very important. While looking at each and every aspect of life, for example, money, food, shelter, car, phone, technology, and everything, all the amenities that we always look for our life, we also need to look inside, that how much respect we do. Let's move on the next type, respect in relationships. Now, stay with yourself and merge your family in your thoughts. That merge your relationships. You could be the mother in that role. You could be the father. You could be the kids. Could be sisters, siblings. Let's merge yourself. Let's feel that your family, your relationships are around you. And now visualize how much contentment and satisfaction you have in your relationships. While sitting with the family, while playing games or enjoying, how much respect you give to your mother, to your father, to your siblings. As a kids or as a parents, how much respect you gave to your kids. Ask this. Let's do a small activity and ask these questions to yourself every day. Because when you keep giving the thoughts to yourself, to your mind, which is like a child, you have to rechannelize, direct your energy towards the right way. While giving these questions to yourself every day, you can feel that I am truly, honestly, with the discipline, giving the respect in my relationship, giving a self-respect to myself. Let's see the questions. So first, how often you sit together in the family? So you can make a list of things what you do with your family when you're with your relationships. How you're doing now? Is your relationship peaceful? Do you have the harmony of the relationships in your life? Do you have that peace and happiness that you always wonder around? You have to, from today onwards, you have to search that. Because whatever we are doing in our lives, that we need to earn the money to for our family, for our relationships, but somewhere we forgot that we also need to give them love and respect. We also need to give them these values, these qualities, these virtues. We have to show some respect while we are earning money, while we are giving them a food, basic needs, all amenities. This is not enough to earn the money and give them whatever they want to buy from the outside world. But we also need to show some love and respect, show some regard, that you care for them, that you are always there when they need you emotionally, when they are mentally disturbed, when they are anxious, they are panic. You have to tell them, you have to show that respect, that yes, you are there for them all the time. So then second is how often you laugh together. Now visualize yourself like last time when you were with your family. What was the conversation you have done? What was it? What was about? Is it something outside, that what's going on in the politics? Who's going to win in the elections, in the coming elections? Was it about the how many COVID cases we have got today? Or was it about how your family, how your kids, your parents doing with their life? Are they happy? Are they at the ease? Or they are facing some difficulties in their life? Or any problem? What are the circumstances? Now imagine yourself, the moment you have spent last time with your family, and what was that conversation about. And now you can really check how much you were present in that moment with your family. Because when it comes to the relationships, and when you are listening to them and their problems, that means you are giving respect to them. And third question is, do you spend some time with the family to talk about their lives? As I already talked, like your kids. Take an example that you are parents and your kids facing difficulties at their school, or maybe he or she is having no friends at their school, and they're in that distress, but they don't know how to express that with their how to share this with their parents. But on the other side, they're just showing the anger. They keep getting angry, but they don't know how to express that the problem they're facing at school. They want to tell that, but they are expressing with that anger. And as a parents, you have to help the child to express that what kind of problems he or she is facing at school in their lives. You have to sit with them as a friends and talk, so that they can leave their anger behind and they can talk to you. That is also a one type of respect, that you are giving respect to your kids, that you are trying to figure it out that if they're having any issue, if they're having any difficulty in their life. So these questions, ask yourself. This is just a small example, but you could make a much more big list of the questions that you need to ask every day. That how much respect I did show today in my relationships. Now let's move on to the third type. It's a respect for others. So now, while sitting with yourself with the self-respect, and then after that you have another round where you have your family and your relationships, your close ones, your loved ones around you. Let's make another round. Let's make another circle of the society, the others, the people who are living around you, your neighbors, your colleagues at work, your peer groups, your university or school friends. So they all comes in the third circle of our life, and they are also important in our life because half of the day we spend with them. Half of the day. It is not just like the small part, but in 24 hours you're spending those 12 hours or the 8 hours with your colleagues you're working with your friends at the university, or with your neighbors staying around your houses. So let me ask you the question. How do you feel when you help someone elderly, a citizen, or a blind, in the neighbors or somewhere? How do you feel when you help them to cross the road? Of course, you feel happy. You will feel that peace, the feeling of self-worthiness, that happiness that nobody can buy. You can feel that at that moment. And that is the exact word for that feeling is respect. That you're giving regard, you're helping others means you're showing respect to them. So that is also a important part that we need to play while living in a society. But for right now, we're trying to squeeze ourselves. We just narrow that circle, that it was a past time, that when we always stay in that circle of 3, but now by the passing time, we just shrink that. We just cut off from the society, from the outside world, that okay, we are just going there for the work, that's all, we don't have any relationship, that's it. We go at work, we do our jobs, come back. So that circle is out now. And afterwards, then our relationships. When we don't show the respect in our relationships, we disrespect them. And at that time, the argument occurs and the relationship start breaking. And those broken relationships is no more give you happiness, the lightness and the peace. So this is happening in this time, and after this, the third circle is gone, and now we cut off the second circle as well. And we are just right now in the one circle of this self. And what is happening with the self? By comparing yourself with others, that I am not worthy, that person is more qualified, that person has the qualities that I want to be like them. We are keep comparing ourselves, and that self-respect, we also cut it off. And now we don't have any circle around of the respect, and we try to always seeking the things, always like asking and asking for everything, which makes us very strong, very, very weak from inside. Because these circles around you, those were your protection. Those were the protection circles that always gives you the sense of worthiness, that you belongs to someone, that gives you the happiness and the contentment in your life, that makes you more creative in your relationships. Let's move on. So let's talk more about these factors that affects our relationships, that how we cut these circles each and every day. So first is the ego factor, the ego source. So for nowadays, we don't know exactly the self-respect. What does it mean? We replace it with the ego. And whenever like somebody just came to you and told you that you're wrong on this place, you need to improve yourself, it will hit your ego. And you will just reply so quickly that he just disrespect me. And I love my self-respect. And now I can do whatever I have to do to eliminate that person from my life. It also applies in the relationships too. How could you eliminate your loved ones from your life? How could you do that? But when it comes to the ego, and we replace that easily with the self-respect, and we just kick them off without thinking even for 1 second. Let's figure out the source of the ego. What do you think? Where from the ego came in our life? What are the source for that? So the ego, it uses our past to create the sense of identity. For example, we were having a bad experience about one colleague at work in the past time, and now we are just trying to correlate it. Just keep making that identity again on the other colleague at work. Is it right? So, whenever you're feeling this, that I'm trying to correlate that in the past my relationships were not good, I wasn't good at all, and even like somebody from your family, they didn't good with you, they were not nice with you, or those past bad experiences. Whenever you think those experiences and try to relate, try to put those experiences again in your life, in your present, you can clearly get that is not a self-respect you're asking for. That is your ego that you need to remove, that you need to eliminate if you want to be respected by others. And ego and expectations, that is also when you really care about your self-respect, you will not relate that past, and you will not have that ego, and that ego also give the birth to the expectations in the relationships, in everywhere. So how these expectations hurts us, we all know that. Why does the ego create expectations? What do you think? It's not, if you have the self-respect, you won't expect anything from others. The way they are, you will accept them. That is the true self-respect that we talked earlier. So so expectations, it's like that I want the person to be like this. I want the situation should be in my way, as I want. Is it possible? The other person, if you like the black color, the other person have to like that? Or let me tell you that I like the red rose, but now I'm saying you have to like that. I don't care. You have to like red rose. You cannot say that you like a pink one or you like the white one. No, you have to like the red one. Do you accept that? Is it right? And at that moment, how do you feel? You will feel this person is so egoistic, like, oh my god, high ego, look at her, right? But if you give them respect, that's your choice. That's my choice, that I like the red rose, but you like white, and I respect you for that, and I accept the way you are, and you're accepting me the way I am. That means that you're showing the real respect to others, without any expectations, without putting your choices on others. That makes our relationship very heavy. That for now, we need to change this. We need to see the new way. Let's start this new journey to just be yourself. Don't try to be like others. Be a unique being that you are. And we also, like, despite the ego, expectations, we also seek the approval from others. Why is that? What do you think? Why we seek the approval? For example, husband-wife. The wife, she's wearing very pretty dress, but she's still confused. Am I looking beautiful? Oh, I have to ask my husband, right? Or maybe sometimes, like in a friend circle, it happens to me also, that wearing a new dress, and I'm just thinking that, am I looking okay? I'm like, oh no, I have to ask my friend, just doing a video call and asking, my dress is okay, like everything, should I change it? This color suits me? Why we are seeking for the approval? You are perfect the way you are, and you have to give that self-respect to yourself. When we are lacking of the self-respect, We always look outside from the people, that they should approve us, that today I'm looking beautiful. Or it happens wearing a very expensive necklace on the party today, and somebody just like from the crowd, any stranger, the person just came to, other lady just came to me and told me, oh, your necklace is not looking good, it's not suiting on your with your dress. And I'm like, my happiness is gone. I don't care how expensive it was, I just lost everything. I lost my happiness, I lost my peace, and I'm feeling so anxious. I'm just feeling like, how she's judging me, like what's going on? I'm not looking okay, I need to change. Like so many thoughts we just create in few seconds. We just confuse our mind, that should my mind respond to the situation rightly or not, and just creating that panic attacks. No, I'm not looking good, I'm not looking good, I'm not. And after that, then you have the long thread with one thought, when you said I'm not good enough. And then anxiety, depression, stress, frustration, anger, everything comes together. Everything comes like from the back, from that one thought. Do we really need that approval from others, that you are good enough in your life? Think about it. And now let's talk about the reassurance and the dependencies that we create in our daily life. It is same like the seeking approval. So for example, as a kid, you are a parents of your kids, and you're just reassuring your kid, you're not supposed to do that, you're not supposed to use the TikTok, you're not supposed to use the social media, you're not supposed to post the pictures like that. You just keep pushing them. And when your kids, they come up with something bad, you will just ask them like, where from you learned that? And your kids will say, we learned from you, we saw you. Because remember this, the kids are blank paper. Whatever you will write on those blank paper, they will be like that. If you will help them to learn self-respect, respect to others, respectful in their relationships, like that respectful prince in the story, you can see that results. You can see your kids how they are growing really well. So you don't need to reassurance and just pushing them all the time. Just give them space and let them grow like a beautiful flowers. And of course, while living in the relationship, we create the dependency, that I'm happy because of my partner, because of my friend, because of this colleague. If he will not come at work, she will not come at work, I won't be happy, my day will be spoiled. Those dependencies are useless. It doesn't even exist in our life. It happens only when you have a lack of self-respect. When you don't respect yourself enough, at that time you create those all factors that that keep lacking you every day and makes you so weak from inside. Let's move on. Let's see the source of the self-respect. Like, where does self-respect come from? Take few seconds and give me the answer. Like, what do you think? Where from the self-respect come? Let me give you the example. Do you think it comes from your siblings? That if they will give me respect, then I can think about it. Or then it will come from somewhere. But where? From somewhere outside? From your car? From your house? Or from your phone? Do you think your phone will give you the respect? Or you can build, while using the phone, you can build the self-respect? Do you think that? It is not possible, because those things can give you only comfort. They cannot buy the respect. So the self-respect comes from inside self, not from others' opinion, that what others think about you. Because the source where from you develop, where from you create the self-respect, it's deep inside of you. That is your inner strength. How much strong you are from your inside, from here, from your mind. How much strong you are, that is the source of self-respect. That is the source of self-love. That is the source of everything, which we cannot buy with the money, which could not come from the outside, from that mortal world. It cannot come. It can only come from your inside, deep inside. Now we have to really need to look inside of us, very deep inside, and we have to conquer that, what's going on with that guy which is sitting inside of us, which need also this respect. So let's talk about the stability in the respect, like self-respect. What do you think? How can we create the stability in our lives to be self-respected? So stability and sustenance, those are the main components that helps us to create the self-respect inside of us. So stability means that we can accept the self in all circumstances. Whatever we have done, whatever we are doing, either we are making mistakes in our life, it doesn't matter. Still, you accept yourself. That is stability inside of you. You're not like, if you get any circumstances in your life and you just like, now you're flying like a polythene, that you don't know what to do. You're just like reacting to the situation with the anger, with the fear, or with the societal thoughts, which is, I saw, very common right now in the youths, that we really need to change it from today onwards. So of course, in any circumstances, accept yourself the way you are. Either you are a failure or you are a winner. You have to accept as it is. And this helps us to be stable, to be sustenance in our life, and that always worthy of the respect. We need to be respectful at all time towards ourselves, towards others, and in our relationships too. And at that moment, you can create a natural respect. When you have that sustenance and that stability inside of you, inside of your mind, then it's very easy to create the self-respect inside. But it is, remember, it's all about your inner strength. It's nothing about the outside that you need to look outside and you can buy it with the money. No. So let's move on. So let's talk about how you can improve or show respect in your relationships or to others. So here, keep in your mind the story of the princes. Those princes, one was the disrespectful, one was respectful, and now remember that disrespectful prince, what he will get at the end. Remember that. And also keep in mind the types, that the self-respect, respect in the relationships, and respect towards others in the society that you're living with. So the first step is listen. When I'm saying that listening, which means you should be that active. I have heard this, like, you should be active listener. But Okay, active listener means somebody is speaking and I'm listening. At that moment, my half mind is sleeping. I'm physically present there, of course, but mentally, I'm just maybe I'm walking inside the kitchen and wondering what my mom prepared for me in the food. Oh, I have to go. What I have in the fridge? Oh, I have a cake. Do you think that's active listening? Let me give you the example that you can clearly understand what does active listening means. So we all go to the doctor, and when we go to the doctor and they check our heartbeats with the stethoscope, at that time they will always, doctor asks us to stay quiet and take a deep breath without any sound, and he listen those heartbeats by that stethoscope very quietly, presently. If the doctor is like putting the stethoscopes in the ear and just, but his mind is somewhere else, do you think that's act that the doctor is good, nice, that doctor is doing good work? No, right? So same like a doctor, we have to present there, and we have to fully 100%, we have to be concentrated on that heartbeats, on others list words, what the other person try to speak with you. You have to be active listener like the doctors, how they do when they are treating the patient. Have to be like that, because this is the one way of showing the respect, that you are listening to someone who is really in need, which means you are showing love and respect. You are giving them a regard that you are important to me. That's why they are with you. You need to tell them while earning the money for the food, for the house or the car. You need to tell them that you are always there to listen to them. And let's move affirm. So while you're listening, but you're just saying like nodding the heads, but you're not replying, you're not affirming that I got you, that time you are not, that time that person is not only in that situation alone, but you are also with that person. By affirming that, by giving the affirmations, you can build that habits that help the other person to feel the sense that yes, I'm important to my family, I am the important person in my own life. That gives you that sense of belongingness, and that really we need it for today. So the affirmation is same like, look at the flowers, how the flowers bloom every day, like slowly, one leaf, the other, how that flower beautifully comes up at the end of the day. And when we saw that flower, we just forget everything and we concentrate on that beauty of that flower. We need to be that good, like a flower, in our affirmations. That will help us to build our habits, to listen, to give the respect in our relationships and to others as well. So let's move on to the third one. It's serve. Serve means giving regard, giving the respect. So let's take an example of that COVID-19, that right now we are facing that pandemic. And when we look at our healthcare personals, that professionals who have worked very hard, and they are keep working over day and night to helping people to survive. They're saving their lives at any cost. And even, do you think they have any purpose? They are just saving others' life without any purpose. Even like lying down on the bed as a patient, do you think the doctor will ask you, Do I have any relationship with you? Do I know you? No, right? So we have to be respectful like that towards everyone. That even you don't know that person personally, but you're giving them a respect. That is a true serving to the humanity, to the society, to in your relationships also. And you have to be like that with yourself too. Like a doctor, like those health professional. How much care, how much love without any purpose they are giving to the patients, you have to give that love to yourself too. That will create somewhere very deep inside that self-respect. And when you have that self-respect for yourself, instead of that ego and everything on the side, expectations, you have that true respect inside, and then at that time you have that source and you can give to others as well. When you have that, because the person who haven't that thing that you're looking for cannot give you. That's true. Let's move on. Be kind. Those are the words that has a really deep emotional meaning in our lives, in today's life, when we need to be respectful in our actions, in our response. So be kind like a mother. We all know how kind are mothers. They just love their children without any expectations, no reason. They're always there for them, no matter what. That's why it is not wrong to call them a superheroes of our life. But why they are loving, why they're so kind? Because they are respective in their relationships. They do respect their kids the way they are. I never heard that any mother said like, I don't like you kid, you have to change it the way I want and then I will accept you. Do you even hear this? No, right? So be kind like a mother. Don't expect from the people to change. Don't expect from the situation to be like your way. Let it be as it is. Be kind in that, no matter what. At that moment, you can truly show that respect. Move on to our next is be polite. Here, I want to take the example of the call center employees. We all know, like whenever we got the call from any company, that they're always there to like ask for some services that these are the services we are offering, we are serving to the community. Are you interested? Do you ever heard like they are talking aggressively? Do you ever heard? So we have to be like that. That is not something that it is just the requirement for their job. That's why they are doing. We really have to implement that quality in our life of be polite. That politeness, they have it. We need to put it on ourselves. We need to implement that in our life today. And then you can see that magic. How you're changing your aggressive behavior towards that loved behavior, towards that respect that all wonder, that all are looking. But you have to remember that you have to give the respect first, and then you will get the respect 200%. That's true. Let's move on, and of course another way to show the respect, it's be thankful. Be thankful for everything you're getting from the nature. Just imagine yourself, just visualize that having in the park and surrounding with the green nature and those beautiful flowers, colorful flowers, singing songs, by the birds, do they have any purpose? Are they getting any money? Are they getting anything? Or are we giving anything to them? No, right? But still, they are serving. Be like them. Be like a nature. And always be grateful. And be thankful what you getting in the life. Do not look at what you don't have in your life. Because right now, we always focus on what we don't have. That, oh, I need a 12 Pro Max, but in next year, the iPhone 13 is coming. Oh, no. Let's cancel the 12 one. I'll get the 13 one. But we are not thinking like we have that good phone, which we can use it for the calls, text, and everything, or saving the memories by taking the pictures. And that's good enough. But we always even it applies on all human beings. If I told you right now to make a list of what you have, it will be hard for you. But when I asked you to make the list that you don't have it, you will make a bunch of things that, oh, I need to buy the big house. Oh, this, I don't like my phone. Oh, I need to change the car next year. Oh, I need to change this. I need to buy that dress I saw in the store. Like so many things we already have. We have the nice relationship. You have yourself that is so beautiful and perfect. That is good enough for yourself. That the nature we have around, our relationships, our family we have around, we have to be thankful for them, to be around, to always stay with us. But for that, we need to work on ourselves. Because if we don't do the self-care, we cannot feel that there is another world existing outside from your phone. Just leave your phone for one day and focus on them. What that world is existing outside. You have to figure it out. You have to find it out. And that time, you can see how much regard, love, and respect that you always look somewhere from inside. You will get that. Let's move on. And this is something really important, that right now we always lost our self-respect, is when we compromise. But while living in a relationship, we thought, oh, let's just adjust. Let's do the compromise. If you are having a bad conversation in your family, in your relationship, one will resist to that situation, that, oh, I can't handle it, I just want to walk away. And the other try to compromise the self-respect, that it's okay if that person is letting me down, put me down, it's okay, let him just do it, but I have to do whatever I can do to save my relationship. And at that time, when you compromise, you lose your relationships. And that is so true right now. We always saw that how those broken relationships affect the kids, how those broken relationships affect the family and the society. Because the one person is trying to compromise the self-respect while having so bad experience in the life, but the other is trying to keep putting the pressure on the other person in the relationship. Do you think there is any balance? No, right? That ends up with the broken. So we really need to know that we have to accept each other the way we are. We don't need to tell the person that I want you to be like this, you have to change. Accept it. That is the true way to show the respect. Because when you compromise with the self-respect, at the end of the day, you will just lose your everything. You will lose peace, happiness, the balance that you always look for your life. And you will be just, at the end of the day, you will be alone, facing all the problems of your life. So always keep the balance in your relationships, and always put your self-respect at your first priority, and tell others what does respect means to gain the respect. Let's move on, and let me tell you the one thing. So respect is a glue that holds your relationship together. So while living in a group, while living in a family, like 4, 5, 10 people, that this respect, it is a glue that always keeps us together, no matter what. No matter what is going on in outside world, but we are still together because of respect, that we are respecting each other, that we respect their ideas, we respect their choices, we accept them the way they are. That we really need to implement this in our life nowadays, which helps us to improve the quality of everyday life, which helps us to give that creativity, that uniqueness, that newness we always look for in our lives. So let's start the new journey of from outside to inside. Let's focus on the inner world inside of your mind. So let's start doing the self-examination every day. So thoughts and those feelings, those emotions we feel every day, it is like a patterns. For example, we saw our brain in the X-rays. We can see that neurons, how is there like the shape of them, right? Those are our thoughts. It is like a thoughts that we are having inside. That's why those neurons are keep going in our mind, keep just shuffling, like the activity, that chemical activity is going on in our mind. And that's because of what we are feeling, what are the emotions we are experiencing, and what are the thoughts that going on in our mind. So we really need to examine that every day. Take few seconds, or even whenever you are in the situation that you're feeling that's really big and the hard situation that I can't face, take few seconds there. Just pause. Whatever you're feeling, just pause right away for a few seconds and think, what's going on with your mind? How's your mind doing? Don't let your mind crying in the negative emotions that you don't want to be like that. Always keep checking on your thoughts. And of course, we have to stop spending time on strangers. For example, social media. Whenever I talked to few people, and I just asked them okay, oh, you have friends in your life. Oh, that's really good that you're you're so extrovert personality. That's nice. You are socialized with the people. But when it comes to oh, no, it's not about meeting the people. It's about oh, they are my social media friends. What? That's really strange. That this friend is from the Facebook. Oh, this is from the Instagram. This is from this website or that. We just keep saying that. And at that moment, we stop focusing on what is going on with me, what's going on inside of it, what's going on with my family, with my relationships. Your relationships are crying. Your relationships are almost at the edge of the breaking, but you are just living in that false world that even doesn't exist. That you're just living in that fantasy that, oh, I have so many friends and at the Facebook. But when you are sick, when you're in the hospital, who will take care of you? Do you think those Facebook friends will come and take care of you? Only your family, your relationships, and yourself can heal you at that time. They are the only ones that can help you to get out from that situation. So stop living in that false world, come out and focus on your relationships. Stop doing comments and likes on the Facebook and just keep making the big list of your social media friends. Just focus on one or two friends or one or two relationship that you have in your life. Those are really important. Give them some respect, and then you can see how you can improve your relationships, how happily you can live your lives. Because the self-respect, it's utmost important thing nowadays to develop inside of you. So always be non-judgmental and keep the pure intentions towards others. While looking at someone, we are really quick nowadays to judge others, that, oh, this person has the black skin color, this person has a brown skin color or white skin color. How judgmental we are, or on the looks. We don't need to do that. Just show some respect. If you want to be happy in your life, if you want to be respectful from others, you need to show some respect to them too. So be non-judgmental. Don't be so quick to put that blame or something. Or always keep the pure intentions towards others, human beings, because they also need some love. They also need some respect in their life to live nicely with you. Because while we are nice on their faces, that, oh, you're looking so good, because, for example, you have a purpose, right? Or you're at work and you're just praising your boss, oh, you're looking so stunning today, and you have a purpose, right, behind that. But this is not about the purpose. This is about something that you need to belong to. You have to be respectful. And it is only possible when you're carrying the pure intentions towards others without any purpose, like a nature. Keep giving the respect. Then you can see that magical things, that magical moments automatically comes to you back. So this was all about the self-respect. Because at the end, I just want to say that we always come confused with ego and expectations instead of the self-respect. We just mix them together, and that moment we just react so quickly and saying that, oh, he's hurting my self-respect, I want this relationship at all, I wanted to walk away. But that is not the self-respect. We have to be really specific in between of the ego and the self-respect. Don't mix them together. Be specific. Because you are the perfect being and you have the right to be happy in your life. You have that right to be good enough to get the respect from yourself. And believe me, when you start this journey from yourself, from that day, you can realize, you can see how much respect you will get from others. So first start your journey and do that self-examination every day. If you have any questions, you can ask in the live chat, or you can contact any center of your nearest city or of the Calgary center. You can visit our website of the Calgary, Brahma Kumari's Calgary, or you can talk to us. We will happy to help you. Thank you so much for joining this evening, and you all have a wonderful day and every moment of the life. Thank you.